Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Dunaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, the original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
And welcome into the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, the strongest Ravens signaled affiliate on the peninsula, 93.5 The Beach. We are broadcasting from the Ravens Room at the Blue Ox Bar and Grill, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City, with Ravens fans all across Delmarva and, of course, Ravens Roost 44. Give yourselves a hand. 44.
I love them.
Welcome into week number 15 of the NFL for your 6-6, 7-6. That is Baltimore Ravens. Coming up, we will recap the 29-26 win over the Minnesota Vikings. We'll talk news and notes, take a trip around the AFC North, and preview the upcoming game against the Detroit Lions. That game's going to be on Monday Night Football. Kickoff at 8:40. Network pregame on the radio will be at 8 p.m. And, of course, our Ravens Wrap Show airs just about every Sunday morning during the season at 11 a.m. on 93.5 The Beach. We want to thank our sponsors, Bud Light, our friends at Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Geico, the Ocean City Golf Club, jctickets.net, Holiday Inn Express at Northside at Ocean City, at Donaway Furniture, 130th Street Bayside at Ocean City. Give them a call at 410-250-5100. Don't forget, you can like us on Facebook, Ravens Wrap at the Blue Ox. Also, the website is ravenswrap.com. That's RAVENSRAP.com. I'm Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore and locally at 92.7 WGMD. Making a return appearance, J.J. Roth from The Show with J.J. Roth at Ocean 98, weekdays from 10 until 3. J.J., welcome back.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Don't worry, Ravens fans. Your good luck charm is here from last year.
That's right.
You're good.
He was our good luck charm. He was our good luck charm.
Good.
He can explain that.
Yeah.
To his left, former Baltimore Colt, All-Pro, 14 years in the NFL, Mr. Bruce Laird. Bruce, welcome back. Happy holidays, sir.
Thank you. 44.
And we always like, throughout the course of the year, having guests on, Ravens fans from the local area. Ocean City mailman, as you can see, a big Ravens fan. Welcome Alex Rusky to the show for the first time. Alex.
Thank you guys very much.
No pressure.
Well, let's set the scene. Coming into the game, 6-6 Baltimore Ravens hosting the 3-8-1 Minnesota Vikings. Of note, inactives for the Ravens in the game, linebacker Elvis Dumerville, so we lost a pass rush threat in that one. Tight end Dallas Clark, defensive tackle Brandon Williams, and wide receiver Deontay Thompson, again, all inactives for the game. However, Dennis Pitta, who we talked about, was activated to the 53-man roster last week. He was active for game day, a part of the 46 guys, and boy, of course, he did make an impact in the game, and we'll talk about that. But I got to tell you guys, this was, and I've watched the Ravens, have been a fan since the beginning, 17 years in the NFL. And we've got some stats we'll fill you in on coming up. But that was the craziest, the most exciting ending, and it certainly broke NFL records that I've seen in 17 years of Ravens football. But in the time I've been following NFL football, guys, since the late 80s, I'll say 87, 88, when I was 7 or 8 years old, the most unbelievable ending I've ever seen.
Well, I know my role. Bruce, you go first.
Well, I got to concur with Mike. I've been a little longer, like 40-some years as a player, as a color analyst, and as a fan watching football. I have never seen a 2.5-second thing of football like that. 5 touchdowns scored, 5 league score changes, and 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And at the end of it, I didn't know whether to cheer, to be happy, to be sad, to be, you know, I was swearing, I was elated, I was this and that. And it's all in the press box, which you can't do. So I jumped up and down and said, you know what? This year, I know the league's crazy, but this year, seriously, it's the craziest year I've ever seen in the National Football League.
Now, the thing with me, I was actually up on Sunday. I was at the Redskins game, believe it or not, against the Chiefs. Yeah. I know, right? I know. Hey, don't boo. I'm your good luck charm, all right? I'm your good luck charm. Lots of snowballs were thrown, we'll say that. But when I finally got to see the highlights, which was Monday afternoon after work, I saw everybody writing on, you know, social media and everywhere else about just the most crazy 2 minutes ever in football that anyone's ever seen. And the easiest way for me to describe it was when I watched the highlights on the television, on ESPN, and I actually, again, being a Redskins fan, watching the Ravens, actually stood up during highlights because it was so exciting. I have never seen that before in football. The fact that it probably will never happen. It'll never happen again. And just the way that the Ravens ended up winning that game after that screen pass for the Vikings, you think it's over. And then Flacco comes through at the end with, 4 seconds left with that touchdown pass to Smith in the snow. December.
Marlon Brown.
You know, you can't win them all. In the snow. In the snow. It was the most amazing thing that I've seen in just 60 seconds of highlights. I can only imagine how it was for all of you guys watching the game in person or on TV.
Alex, you're a big fan. Roller coaster ride.
I'll tell you what, man. This guy, Marlon Brown, has just been unreal for us this year. I mean, how this guy goes undrafted just beyond me. What is he, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, he's big. He's a big young
guy,
man.
I tell you what, that game, to me, puts forward to the Torrey Smith catch in the end zone 2 years ago, or last season, when we were in Pittsburgh and Flacco drove us, minute 13, 80 yards. I mean, how can you, that's just crazy.
I mean, that
It's
might
nuts.
be this year's version of 4th and 29 against the San Diego Chargers, Bruce. We'll see how things play out, and obviously that was a huge play and we won a Super Bowl. But let's just say, even just to get us to the playoffs, that might be the play that ultimately gets us there.
You know, when we get through further on in the program, we start talking about Detroit, and you start looking at what they have left to do, these 3 games. Very important games. This game's more important than last week, and I said that all the time. They're going to continue to paramount each game. But it could be that stepping stone, because look at what happened in Mile High. I see myself in the huddle all the time, and I just see myself playing and going, a touchdown beats you. Guys, don't let anything behind you. Guys, I mean, you're just sitting there with players and you go, no, it can't. And then you look at Peyton Manning's face, and he's saying it can't happen. And it happened in Denver. They let someone go over, they score, and they go on to win the Super Bowl. This could be that crazy. I know it's weird, but I'm thinking I'm leaning that way.
Well, let's go through the scores, guy. Hey, I like your thinking, Bruce. Let's go through the scores. 2:05 in the game. Joe Flacco, a 1-yard touchdown pass to Dennis Pitta. And, of course, Pitta being back, he was rusty early, a couple of drops, but he ends up making 4 or 5 catches in the game, including a touchdown in that one. So he catches a touchdown pass. Then a minute 27 in just 2 plays, Toby Gerhart on a 41-yard touchdown rush that puts the Vikings back on the board. Then a minute 16 left, Jacoby Jones with a 77-yard kickoff return down the left sideline. Then 45 seconds, Matt Castle, a 79-yard pass to Cordell Patterson on a wide receiver screen and cuts back against the grain. Nobody's home. Matt Elam slips, touchdown. And then 4 seconds left after a drive and a big first down play, guys, to Marlon Brown to start that drive. But it ends with a 9-yard pass to that very guy, Marlon Brown, an undrafted rookie free agent out of Georgia, had a big junior year knee injury. Didn't really play, if at all, senior year, and that's how he goes undrafted. But, boys, he's paid dividends. And, Bruce, you take a look at this. You know, I know we've all talked about Anquan Bolden and, missing him and the trade to San Francisco. But you look at the impact Marlon Brown's had. And if we keep Anquan Bolden, I'm not saying he wouldn't have paid big dividends for us, but Marlon Brown doesn't develop the way he did. And who knows, this could be the beginning of something really big as Marlon Brown establishes
Well,
himself.
there's no question, because they needed another guy in the slot, and you like the big body. The NFL is really going to the bigger body. The Smurfs, the Wesley Walkers, and some of these guys, they're still very, very good players, but the NFL is going to the big body. He certainly has come on. He's made some big catches. That was a big catch, a big toe tap in the end zone. And Joe Flacco, you got to give him a lot of credit. Let me tell you, this guy's playing fourth quarter football. He looks like he doesn't care about anything, which is great to have, but he does show emotion when things are going. And he's actually showing a lot more emotion this year as he's taken a greater leadership role. But this guy's a big asset. Now, the bigger games, big-time players have got to show up big. And your average players have got to play better than average. And your guys just playing around, you've got to play good football. That's the key. Your big-time players, the bigger the game, the bigger they got to play.
And I think Bruce said it perfectly there. Joe Flacco, Mike, you probably have the stats on you. He threw 3 interceptions, correct?
He did.
If the Ravens lose, they're talking about that, correct?
Oh,
the whole time,
totally.
3 interceptions.
Sure, absolutely.
What happened into the game? He goes down to who, Alex? Marlon Brown, right? Thank you for that one. Goes down to Marlon Brown, throws the game-winning touchdown.
Marlon Brown.
Throws a game-winning touchdown. No one talks about the interceptions, the whole 9, and the whole thing about stats and all that. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the win and loss column. And you can say whatever you want about Flacco, about the salary he got, about after winning the Super Bowl MVP, but Look what happened on Sunday. That's all that matters. We're not talking about the interceptions. We're talking about a Ravens win over the Vikings in Baltimore. That's all that matters.
Bruce, you knocked the nail on the head right there when I said that. Marlon Brown went to Georgia. Who else went to Georgia that is actually in our division? A.J. Green. A.J. Green is one of the, I'd say, top 3 wide receivers in our league. He has been working with him. You know he has seen what he's done. You know Marlon Brown has taken pages out of his book. I agree. I think we're going to see some big things out of Marlon Brown within the next 2 or 3 seasons.
And he wrote, I mean, the young man, as a rookie, it's very difficult to feel totally comfortable. You're really only comfortable with what your role is. You understand the play called and where you need to go, but you really aren't gearing into the nuances. You're not looking at the chess match that's taking place as much as you will as you get further down the line. And he's just going to have to keep within himself, play very, very physical football, catch the football when it's thrown to him. And I think that's one of the things that Joe's going to be talking to him. Listen, I'm not asking you to do anything spectacular, but when it's there, you got to catch the ball for me. And he's able to do that.
I totally agree with you.
And Bruce, look, for as many rookies that burst onto the scene and had big-time production, there's just as many rookies that it takes a little bit longer for. We can talk about Matt Elam at safety, coming from the SEC, okay? You know, he's learning his role. He's not had as big as impact as maybe we thought, but he's getting there. And I still think he's a guy that will be an impact player for the Ravens down the line. But it takes time for these guys. You look at an undrafted rookie free agent, though, who's really put in a tough spot, having to fill at least some of the shoes of Anquan Bolden. It's probably more by committee. Dennis Pitta was supposed to be in that role. He gets hurt. But, boy, your hat's off to a kid for coming through big time. And of rookies, he's tied with the most touchdown receptions. So,
is it 8? He's got 8 now?
Yeah, something like that.
7 or 8.
I know it's 7. Right. I think he got to the 8, and that's big-time production. And that's what the Baltimore Ravens offense has become. You know the running game struggle. It's not going to get much better, folks. You know, you can sugarcoat it. You can say, we're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. Well, you're in spandex now. With the new CBA, you're out there. You wear your little shoulder pads. You put your helmet on. But for the most part, you run around in spandex. They don't hit. They just go through what you got to do. So the running game's not going to get much better at all. If they make a few big plays, maybe our average goes up. But if we run the ball for 80 yards a game, feel blessed. And let me tell you something. We were going to not run the football, but again, Minnesota stayed in a 4-man front. They got a little tired. The end of the beginning and end, in the middle of the fourth quarter, that's when we got 30 or 40 yards rushing. And that was a blessing.
Well, that's more to come. It is the Ravens Wrap Show on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio. 93.5 The Beach. We're back next. Give it here.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Like 33rd Street was to Colt fans, Russell Street will become legendary for future generations of Raven fans. Not only is Russell Street the team's address on Sunday, it's now home to the website voted Baltimore's best 5 years in a row. You've known them as Ravens247.com for years, and now you'll love them as RussellStreetReport.com for many more. There's nothing else like it for Baltimore football fans. Trust me, RussellStreetReport.com. Baltimore's home for football 24/7.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.